Halloween season is upon us. Yes, it is that time of year where horror fans go kind of nuts. And it's also that time of year to watch those horror movies that we've been saving for the Halloween season. And one of those movies for me is Trick or Treat. I love this movie so much, but I only ever watch it during the Halloween season. And it's a great movie to start off the spooky season. Trick or Treat is a 2007 anthology horror comedy movie twisting and entwining short stories and events that are happening around the town of Warren Valley, Ohio on Halloween night. And this movie is just jam-packed with ghosts, murders, sexy werewolves, and a crap ton of kills. And it also has some pretty sick practical effects, which we will be looking into today for some of the kills. But which kill ranks the best in this movie? Come with me as we rank the kills in Trick or Treat. This movie also includes sexy werewolf striptease. Halloween is for all ages. Children don't float. How to carve a human jack-o'-lantern. That's a lot of chocolate puke. Isn't that the kid from Bad Santa? Don't touch those decorations. Never prank the weird girl. Slutty Halloween costumes. Nice. A hot dog butt fucking a pig.
Coach Taylor was in a hot dog costume, butt fucking a pig.
Only on Halloween night. And Sam, of course. Who could forget Sam? Emma the robot lady is coming home from a night on the town with her husband. She's not a fan of Halloween and wants to take down the decorations right away. I can only assume that her husband put these decorations up in the yard since she's the equivalent of a Halloween Grinch. What would that be called? She starts to tear down the decorations, pulling the sheets off the wooden stakes in the ground. Her husband is upstairs watching a very nasty porno, hoping he can do to her what these girls are doing to each other. She may be a Halloween Grinch, but maybe she's a bit freaky. As she's tearing down the decorations, she is attacked by something in a white sheet. Emma struggles against Sam, falling down to the ground in front of 3 kids. Sam takes his pretty sharp sucker and slits her throat. Blood sprays on the white sheet and steam rising from her fresh blood. Sam drags her corpse back into the yard, where her husband eventually finds her dismembered body and her head with Sam's sucker stuffed in her mouth. She has become what she hates the most, a Halloween decoration. A really strong kill to kick off the movie, really sets the tone. Let's be real though, she kinda had it coming, right? You never tear down your Halloween decorations the night of. You leave that stuff up all night. Hell, all year. If you can do it with Christmas decorations, why can't you do it with Halloween? What I liked about this scene is the steam coming off the fresh blood. The steaming blood effect was created by keeping a giant pot of fake blood warm throughout the night for this scene. And it also apparently had a chocolatey, minty flavor to it, and it was supposed to be pretty delicious. And of course the severed limbs and her head mounted on this stake with the sucker in her mouth. That was a really good touch too. It's a fantastic kill, great practical effects as well. The shot with the sucker in her mouth is terrifying. I'm gonna have to rank this 3.5 bloody slashes out of 5. Now I really want to try that chocolatey minty blood. That might be delicious. What are your thoughts on this scene? Do you think it should be ranked higher, lower? Let me know in the comments down below. And Charlie has been walking around all night, smashing pumpkins and collecting his candy for the night. And it's the same kid from Bad Santa who made that wooden pickle, which didn't look like a wooden pickle at all.
It's a wooden pickle.
But I think it's the thought that counts. He comes to a house with a bowl of unsupervised candy. Being the hooligan that he is, takes the candy and throws it into his sack, but is caught red-handed by who? Principal Stephen Wilkins, the owner of the house. As punishment, he sets Charlie down on the step next to him and forces him to listen to his stories as he carves a jack-o'-lantern, talking about the traditions of Halloween. And of course, Charlie is eating a chocolate bar, I believe, in his hand as Mr. Wilkins tells these stories. But the little guy looks to be a little upset. We find out soon that the candy that Charlie has been eating was poisoned by Wilkins.
Always check your candy.
You hear the rumbling in Charlie's stomach, and then all of a sudden he spews chocolate vomit all over the steps. This scene, every time I watch it, I don't know why, but it just grosses me out. Blood, gore, and all that, sure, but there's something about the thickness of this chocolate vomit in this scene that's just gross. You can feel the heat and the thickness while watching this. Charlie then collapses on Wilkins' lap. But it doesn't stop there, as we get a scene later on with Wilkins and his kid, who needs help carving what we think is a jack-o'-lantern, but turns out it's Charlie's decapitated head. What I really liked about this scene is the whole interaction between Charlie and Wilkins. Clearly Wilkins, you can tell he's a bit of a disturbed man. Something's not quite right with him, as we slowly learn. Then the vomit comes and it's gross and it's fantastic. What's cool about this scene is that they actually rigged the kid, Charlie, with I think a vomit ring, and used chocolate syrup with thickener, which also had, I think, a minty flavor to it, make it have that heavy, gross look to it. And they just sprayed it out all over the steps. Really cool effect. And as well, you can't really forget about the severed head, right? This kill has to be up there. It is a very gross, disturbing kill. One might say Charlie got the worst of it in this movie. I'm gonna have to give this a 5 out of 5 bloody slashes. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Let me know in the comments down below. Stephen Wilkins is out back in his yard dumping a couple bodies in a pretty shallow grave. One of them still alive, kind of making a ruckus, which draws the attention of his neighbor, Mr. Krieg. Mr. Krieg walks out to come over and see what Mr. Wilkins is doing in his yard. Mr. Krieg kind of oblivious to the 6-foot hole that Wilkins is standing in. Wilkins, being that clever, sly little devil that he is, talks his way out of it.
Septic tank is acting up.
Only to be interrupted once again by his son Billy, screaming at the top of his lungs, asking when they can carve the jack-o'-lantern, and that if he's allowed to go with him to the parade. Of course you're not, Billy. Daddy's got a hot date. Billy goes back inside, but then starts to yell again.
Don't forget to open with the eyes!
Finally, after some pretty funny events and Wilkins trying to smother this child in the grave, he takes his shovel up and brings it down right on the kid's head. I would assume killing the kid with shovel to the face. It's honestly a pretty funny scene. Wilkins is just stopping this kid, trying to shut him up as he's talking to Mr. Krieg, trying not to draw any attention to him. Then his kid comes out, interrupting him, yelling at the top of his lungs, "Damn it, Billy, you're gonna wake the neighbors." And then Dad's gonna be in real trouble. Everything adds up to this kill. It's pretty funny, so I'd have to give it 2.5 bloody slashes out of 5. It's funny, but you really don't see too much. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. We jump right into the Halloween parade that this little sleepy town is having. And I'm a little jealous because I wish parades like this happened around where I lived. The camera zooms down the alleyway, blasting through the steam, and we see a couple having some fun. The girl's moaning, having a pretty good time, until she notices blood dripping from her neck, down her arms. She's horrified at what she's seeing. She looks up from her hands and sees that her hot date is a vampire. She freaks out and takes off down the alleyway, trying to escape this mysterious figure. And she actually makes it to the parade and asks for help from a lady in a robot costume, being Emma and her cuck boyfriend or husband. I love how they weave the stories together in this movie. And the more times you watch it, the more you pick up on little hints here and there. They think that she's just drunk, so they leave her alone, and the girl thinks she's safe because she's surrounded by these people. But the mysterious figure appears from behind her. A bloody scream escapes her mouth as he whisks his cape over her. We cut to the mystery figure laying the corpse on the side of the street of the parade, making it look like she passed out drunk. And death by, I'm thinking, neck wound here. Maybe he bit her artery and she just kind of bled out everywhere. Not too sure. I like how this scene made you think that she's safe from whatever this mysterious figure is, running into the parade, getting help, and she's just surrounded by these people, but yet she still ends up dying. People don't question her because it's Halloween night. It's the night where all the weird people come out, and killing her in the middle of a parade, that's a bold move. The big thing here though is you don't see the kill, not like the others, so I'm gonna have to give it about 1.5 bloody slashes out of 5. If we're ranking kills here, I want to see the kills. choke or snap neck or more biting on the neck, draining her blood or something. Just a little more visual, but that's just my preference, I guess. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Now we have kills 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Quite a few. Now this one is multiple kills. This is told as a scary story by Macy to her friends at the rock quarry. A story of 8 kids on a bus who are said to be so troubled and disturbed that their parents are embarrassed of them and are just really tired of taking care of them. So they hire the bus driver and pay him to drive them out to the rock quarry on Halloween. Kids all dressed up in their Halloween costumes. Really creepy ass looking. The costume designer did a really good job dressing these kids because they thought the visual style of these old Halloween masks where you couldn't see their eyes was really creepy, but not from one specific era. But it had to feel like it was from that old timey, and I think she did a great job. The bus driver goes through checking one by one to make sure the kids are strapped into their seats, and if they are, he hands them a candy. And he goes down the aisle checking each individual kid. One of the kids though, little Dracula, slips out of his chains, goes to the front of the bus and starts yelling. He wants to go home, trying to figure out how to drive the bus. The bus driver runs to the front but is tripped by one of the kids. Little Dracula puts the bus into gear and drives it off the rock quarry, killing all 8 kids on board, drowning in the quarry. The bus driver though still survives but is never seen again. A very somber tale, and it's one that you just kind of feel bad for the kids. Or you feel bad that these parents did this to their own kids. And it's a high body count and it's a bit jarring. So we're going to rank this 2 bloody slashes out of 5. It's tragic. Pretty tragic. But the Halloween costumes, pretty awesome. What are your thoughts on this scene? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Let me know in the comments down below. The story of these kids actually lead into the next kill and the next couple kills, though Sarah gets her own highlighted kill in this one. After telling the ghost story and pulling a prank on Rhonda, the weirdo in the town, she's not really a weirdo, she just loves Halloween a lot, and you know what? 2 thumbs up to that. They prank Rhonda pretending to be the dead kids from the story, but the actual kids from that story come back as zombies.
We have to get out of here. Calm down.
Chasing down these hooligans. Chains from Sarah's costume as she's running away, I believe, are grabbed by the zombie kids and she's pulled off into the fog, and we hear munching sounds and squirts and stuff like that. We can assume that she was eaten by these children. 1.5 bloody slashes out of 5 because we don't really see it. And this leads right into kill 14, 15, and 16. The rest of the group get to the lift and they find Rhonda in the lift with the last lit jack-o'-lantern protecting her. They're screaming at her, saying that it's not a prank, let us in, please. But Rhonda has had one too many pranks pulled on her tonight. So she hits the button to go up out of the quarry, leaving the remaining 3 children down there to be eaten off screen by the zombie children. They got what was coming to them. Let's just say that. It's an off-screen kill. We don't really see anything, so I'll give it 1 bloody slash out of 5. Hey, if they showed the kids being eaten or an arm being bitten off like Georgie from It, it would probably be higher. But off-screen kills, I'm not a big fan of, so it's gonna be pretty low. Would you have shown the kids being eaten by these zombie kids? Or do you like that they didn't show it? Let me know in the comments down below. The kills are really racking up in this town, and it's gonna be kind of hard for, the town to explain what's with all the missing people and the bodies littered all over the streets of this small little town. But anyways, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe and like the video. New videos out every week, as well as live streams every Wednesday and Friday here on YouTube and on Twitch. Let's get back into it. Kills 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. That's a lot of kills. Lori, dressed as the Little Red Riding Hood, is trying to find a date for her party to go to. And she notices a masked figure, the vampire from earlier, kind of watching her, kind of stalking her possibly. Lori leaves to her party that her sister and her friends are at, but believes that she might be being followed by a mysterious figure.
I'm not in the mood, so just come on out.
And she's right as he jumps out in front of her, or appears in front of her, grabs her by the neck and throws her against a tree and bites her. sexy bite. We cut to the party and we see a red hooded figure flying through the trees, landing in the party. The girls rush over thinking that is Lori.
Lori.
But it's the vampire. And Lori strides out of the bushes all kind of sexy like. And we find out when she pulls the mask off this figure that it's Mr. Wilkins pretending to be a vampire. We then notice all the 9 girls at this party and then all the dead bodies of their dates lying around, spread across this campground or camping place. Again, off-screen kills, but we do see some destructions of the body. A lot of people gutted. A severed head, I believe, is also seen in this scene. So we know something messed up has gone on around here. And they are killed off screen for good reason too. Because if they showed them being killed, then it kind of would have given away the surprise to the next kill. But this one, I'm gonna have to rank 2 bloody slashes out of 5. We do see the bodies, some destruction, decapitations, and stuff like that. But again, off-screen kills. But I gotta understand why they did that. And we jump right into kill number 26, where we get the girls dancing all sexy to Marilyn Manson, Sweet Dreams playing in the background. Girls are getting naked and frisky, and then they start to tear off their skin, revealing that they're werewolves. Wilkins is petrified at what he is witnessing at this party. Wilkins is probably pissing his pants right now, as Lori turns into a werewolf, feasting upon his corpse. Wilkins' screams echo through the forest. I'm like weirdly turned on by this scene, but I feel bad about it. Am I the only one? This scene is chef's kiss. They used a full-on werewolf suit, dressed a girl or a couple girls in this werewolf suit, used makeup, hair, even made a fully animatronic werewolf head to go on one of the girls, giving it insanely real-life creepy features to it. They also fitted all the girls with their own werewolf contacts. That's pretty sweet. And I'm a huge sucker for werewolves. They're like my favorite. This scene has great effects in it, a great transformation scene, and it's oddly sexy as hell. With that, I'm gonna give it 5 bloody slashes out of 5. You don't see many female werewolves, let alone practical ones anymore. It's just so good. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. Kill number 27, the final kill. Mr. Krieg is just trying to hang out with his old friend, Jim Bean, shooting back a couple of drinks, enjoying the fire and his little dog, but not taking in the Halloween season or having the Halloween spirit. He starts to get terrorized by who he thinks are the town hooligans, the kids, playing pranks on him. But it's clearly something else, as when he opens the door, he sees his entire front yard decorated in jack-o'-lanterns. Stunned by this, he stumbles back inside, grabs his shotgun as he hears more weird sounds coming from the floor above him, so he goes to investigate. In his bedroom, he gets his Achilles slashed by none other than Sam and his little chocolate knife. Delicious, but deadly. Now, Mr. Krieg and Sam, they get into a hell of a bout in this final scene. Both of them getting messed up pretty bad, with Mr. Krieg shooting Sam's hand off, or arm, and pumpkin guts just splattering everywhere.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
But you can't kill Sam. Now Sam has Mr. Krieg dead to right, and goes to stab him, but stabs him, and when he does, he stabs a chocolate bar that's laying on his chest. Sam takes his delicious candy bar, takes a bite, and then leaves Mr. Krieg alone. Mr. Krieg is all messed up now, learning his lesson that, hey, maybe I should celebrate Halloween now. He hears a ring at the door, and there's more trick-or-treaters. He opens the door, and standing in front of him are the zombie kids who died in the quarry, coming to feast on Mr. Krieg, who was the bus driver. What a twist.
Trick or treat.
And in very cool comic book panel depiction, the kids tear into him, devouring Mr. Krieg and killing him, ending the movie. 4 bloody slashes out of 5. I really love that they showed this, but they showed it in a graphic novel kind of way. Artwork is creepy and fantastic. So you do see the kill. Just when you think he's out of the woodwork, you know, fighting Sam and living to tell the tale, he is just devoured and obliterated by these kids that, well, he did kill years and years ago. His past literally coming back to haunt him. Now, which kill ranked the highest? We have a tie between Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Werewolf Wilkins. Now, I have to say that the scene that stuck with me the longest, after watching this many times and I still think about it, is the werewolf scene. It's creepy, it's sexy, the transformation is amazing, the practical effects behind it is really cool, and the realization that he's no longer the hunter, but he is now the prey, and then being devoured by sexy werewolves. I mean, who wouldn't want that? It's the way to go. And because of that, sexy werewolf scene is the #1 scene in this movie. I know some will argue that Charlie probably got it much worse, the poisoning and the decapitation. And maybe he did. Tell me I'm wrong. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you agree with all the rankings? Do you change some of these around? Anyways, I hope you all enjoy this kill ranking. Do you have a horror movie that you'd like us to do here? Rank the kills? Let me know. And of course, happy Halloween. And I'll see you in the next spooky video.